I felt so good. Like, y'all, when I first got in there, I felt like Prince Akeem from I felt like Prince Akeem from Coming to America. Hello, neighbors.
Good morning, my neighbors!
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my YouTube video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this new video. If you are a new viewer watching this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below to my channel. My name is Torien for an introduction. Welcome to my YouTube video. Today, I'm going to be basically talking to you guys about how I moved out at 20 years old out of my parents' crib. I'm going to talk about a little bit of my experience with that. And I'm also going to give you guys tips and advice that I've learned that helped me along with my moving out journey, right? So hopefully you guys are either inspired, encouraged, or motivated by the end of this video. So I advise you to please watch the whole entire video. But yeah, guys, we're about to go ahead and get into it. So let's do it. I feel like I wanted to create this video for people that may still live with their parents, you know, and you may want to be able to move out, but you just don't know, like, you know, the first steps to do so, or maybe you just want to hear, like, you know, my story and just, you know, get inspired to be able to take those steps in order to move out and things like that, right? So if you guys do not know, I am currently 24. I moved out of my parents' crib when I was 20 years old. All right, and I'm gonna go a little bit more into detail about that, but I'm still very young, but I've been on my own for about 4 years now. Also, on top of that as well, guys, I'm originally from a small town called Augusta, Georgia, but I moved to Atlanta, Georgia on my own as well. So I definitely wanna be able to talk to you guys about not only moving out on your own, but moving out to a different city, a different area on your own, right? Totally different experience. So I wanna be able to shed a light on it as well and talk more about that. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So guys, like I said, I moved out when I was 20 years old, and I'm originally from Augusta, Georgia. So I moved out December of 2018. That's when I moved out of my parents' crib. Now, before I get into it, I'm gonna let you guys know, I moved out on my own, but I didn't have a plan. Okay, I didn't have a plan of how I was going to do things, or at least I thought I had a plan, but the plan didn't work out. All right, so I want to kind of go into detail about that. So December 2018, I decided to move out not because of anything negative or where the case may be. I was working a job at the time, a pretty good job, and the job actually gave me an opportunity to be able to transfer to a different location. I was working for a tech company. If you watch my last video, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I literally got the opportunity to transfer to a different location to be able to work there, right? So I took the opportunity because my cousin at the time was moving to Atlanta at the time. So, well, he was already in Atlanta. He was already in Atlanta at the time. And I was expressed to him how, you know, complacent I was when it came to, I just felt like I was complacent in my city. And I know some of you guys, there are probably some people on here that may be from small towns, or if you are a person that is from a small town and you don't feel motivated, you don't feel encouraged, you don't feel inspired to do a lot, or there may just not be a lot of things for you within your area, this video is for you, because I promise you, you're gonna be able to relate to this more than you ever will know. Right, so at the time I felt very like just stagnant, like in where I was at. And there's nothing wrong with where I'm from, nothing at all. But for me, I just had bigger dreams for myself, and I wanted to be able to catch those dreams. I want to be able to follow those dreams for sure. So I felt like a new scenery and new opportunities for me was definitely for me for sure. So I took the opportunity to move. So I moved December 2018, and the plan was for me to move with my cousin, and we were going to look at renting a home or renting an apartment together, right? Now, my cousin at the time had a roommate as well. So when I moved to Atlanta, he was already staying in an apartment with his roommate. So it was definitely uncomfortable for the first couple of weeks when I moved up there, but we had a plan to all move in together, right? We wanted to all move in together to either an apartment or either a home. We was going to move into apartment or home, but it didn't work out the best, right? It was a lot of things going on, but nothing negative or anything like that. It just didn't really work out the way we thought it was going to work out. So yeah, literally guys, I went with a plan plan, but my plan didn't really execute as I wanted it to go. So literally I ended up getting a roommate for the year of 2019 because I moved out in December 2018. So 2019, I moved into an apartment with a roommate at the time, and it was cool, but I was with a roommate for about like over a year, and I just started to realize that, you know, I wanted my own space. There was nothing wrong at all, where the case may be, but I just wanted my own space, and I also wanted just a different scenery or whatever. So anyway, moved in with that roommate at the time, and honestly, guys, y'all, I don't know if you've ever like seen like TV shows or movies and stuff where you know, you're living with other people. You may have heard other people talking about their experiences with roommates. Some of them may be bad, some of them may be good. Mine was okay. It wasn't like, you know, anything too spectacular, where the case may be. It was cool, but at the time, you know, there's certain things that I want to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? You know.
What is with you?
I ain't gonna lie. I got some cutty last night.
Stop lying.
So, you know what I'm saying? Had a roommate for over a year, and also another thing that helped me too, along with my job, is that I was able to get into a skill. I moved to Atlanta, and in Atlanta, guys, there's so many different things that you can do, and there's so many people that you can meet. One of the things that helped me along with my journey of me moving to Atlanta is really just the overall journey of networking, talking to people, meeting new people, things like that. With my job transfer, I was able to network with different people and learn new skills and things like that. So that enhanced me even more to kind of like, you know, just get to where I am now, right? So anyway, had a roommate for over a year, and I really just wanted to get my own space. But at the time, you know, a lot of stuff was going on. I was still working my job and things like that. And first of all, moving to Atlanta is was definitely an experience for me, for sure. I can say that I do like a lot of things about Atlanta. One of the things that I do like about Atlanta is that it allows you to think more and think bigger than what you may be thinking, as far as like goals, dreams, aspirations, because there's so many of us Black folks or African American folks here in Atlanta that are entrepreneurs, that are doing things for themselves, or that know how to hustle and get money, right? So that was one of the things that really inspired me as I came out here, because I saw so many people that looked like me, that, you know, was driving the nicest cars or living in the nicest apartments, houses, or just had like, you know, nice jobs or nice businesses, doing well for themselves, right? That was one of the things that I really took away from being here. It put me in a different type of hustle, a different type of grind, for real, for real. So, and also just moving out in general to a different city, state, or whatever, it automatically puts you into a different grind, I feel like, in my opinion, because you're away from home, you're away from your family, you have no choice but to be on your own and thug it out and grind it out, basically. So that's how it was for me. And yeah, guys, so I was living with a roommate for a year, and then 2020 came. And then COVID happened. A lot of things transpired with COVID. With COVID, I was learning my side skill at the time. During COVID and stuff, I used to work like in a setting where I was working with different people and stuff. Like, you know, I had to show up to work, right? So when COVID happened, I couldn't do that anymore, right? But they let us work from home at the time, which was cool. But it still was also not the best experience, in my opinion, because I used to work in retail. So people that may have worked in retail or heard about retail, or whatever the case may be, you know how it is. It's very exhausting and stressing a lot for the job when it comes to dealing with people every day, talking to people on the phone every day, things like that. And at home, it was 10 times worse. In person, it was cool, but at home, it was 10 times worse, because the way my job was set up, we was in a call center setting, and we would get calls nonstop. We couldn't take as much breaks as we wanted to, things like that. So it was very overwhelming, because I was juggling my job and then also trying to focus on my new skill set that I've learned. So literally, there came a point when I had to just really, you know, just figure out what I wanted more for myself, because my job was cool, but it was starting to get, you know, overwhelming. And then my new skill set, I was starting to become profitable in. So I was like, okay, cool. Which one should I focus on more? And I chose my side skill, right? So one thing I would recommend when it comes to moving out and things like that is focus on a skill set, or focus on, you know, a good paying job, right? So for me, I would say when it comes to moving out, but of your parents' house in general, guys, you need to make sure that you take your time, all right? For me, I feel like I took a good amount of time, but at the same time, if I knew my plan wouldn't have worked the way it did, then I would have stayed a little bit longer, if I'm really being honest. I don't regret anything that has happened, thus far, but I would have definitely took my time a little bit more to not only just move out, but to also develop a plan that I know would work for me, right? Because when you're moving in with other people, sometimes it can get tricky because you may have good credit, but they may not have the best credit, right? Or you may want to move out in this way or at this location, but they don't want to move in that location. They want to go to a different location. So with so many different things that, was transpiring at the time for me to move out, because I didn't move out completely just by myself. I moved away from my family, but I didn't move out completely by myself until 2020. My biggest advice for you guys is to take your time to move out and also develop your plan of what you want to do. Now, I would suggest moving out on your own because it's going to save you a lot more headache. And on top of that, nobody knows you more than you know yourself. When it comes to having your own peace and your own just freedom in your own space, I promise you're going to appreciate and cherish it so much, especially if you come from a toxic environment or if you come from an environment that, is not the healthiest and things like that, right? For me, I didn't have really a toxic environment with my family. My family has been very supportive of me still to this day, right? I've had a very strong support system, and that wasn't a thing for me. I just wanted to move out and just adult a little bit earlier, right? But yeah, guys, take your time to move out and develop your overall plan. Okay, that's one of my tips that I would recommend. So when COVID happened, I took the time to focus more on my skill set. I became profitable in it, and I was able to fully move out of my apartment with my roommate and actually get my own space. So that was one of the things that kind of helped me with that as well. So also another tip that I would like to recommend, guys, is get a job that you are interested in or passionate about. Or just decide how you will have steady income in general, okay? So the reason why I say this is because you want to get a job that interests you in some type of way. Just to, first of all, protect your mental health, okay? So mental health is important, all right? And if you have the ability to choose what job it is that you want to be able to go for, do it, right? I would put more time into getting that right job for you and to your liking rather than just getting any type of job, right? Now, granted, if you have to get a job, if you have to get a job and you're in a hurry to get a job, I totally understand that if you just want to get money, right? So definitely, pick up a job. But if you have more time to take your time when it comes to moving out, you need to take that to advantage. Move out with intention. So what I mean by that is get a good paying job or a good job that, that you're interested in to be able to, actually like the job, you know what I'm saying? Or just find a way of having steady income. So if you want to become a creator like myself on YouTube, focus on that. There's so many kids right now that's doing way better than me right now when it comes to, there's a lot of kids that's having 2 cars, 2 different houses, buying their mom's cribs, things like that. There's so many different things that's going on within this world now. So it's a lot easier for us to be able to take things to advantage. Now, another key factor that helped me move out on my own as well is basically establishing good credit. All right, this is definitely a key thing. I know I talked about credit a little bit earlier, but I want to go more into detail about it now. So when it comes to establishing good credit, you need to make sure that you are working on your credit actively, right? If you have a job, once you get your first job, or you get a job, or whatever the case may be, you need to start get a credit card, maybe a small credit card or a secured credit card, right? Where your limit may be $200 or $500. And what you need to start doing with that card, you need to basically just get essentials, like maybe gas if you drive a car, or groceries if you get groceries, or food, things like that. But only spend what you can afford on that card. Don't go crazy with that credit card, right? Debt is going to accrue. So you definitely want to make sure that all the credit that you are asking for, that you can literally pay back with your job or any other steady income that you have. All right, establish good credit before you actually decide to move out on your own, because credit does matter when you are moving into your new space. Save at least 3 to 6 months of your budget rent before moving. So you need to develop your plan, right? What apartment or space that you're going to be moving into? How much does it cost? What area is it in, right? You need to be looking up these different things, okay? Manifest what it is that you want. If you are looking to take your time, which I highly recommend, you need to make sure that you're in something that you absolutely want. All right, it doesn't have to be the most expensive, most crazy, whatever the case may be, right? As long as it's something that you can afford and it's nice looking, okay? I'm not in the biggest penthouse, or I'm not in the best, apartment in America, where the case may be, right? But I'm in something that I like, it's new, okay? And it's something that I like and I appreciate and I can live in, all right? So you wanna make sure that you guys are developing your plan when it comes to where you want to move, how much it costs to rent, the application fees, paying security deposits, things like that. You wanna look up all of that stuff before moving in. That's why I also say take your time, all right? Now, when it comes to the next tip that I wanted to say, is I want you guys to be able to budget out all your expenses before moving in. Okay, so let's say for instance, if you're looking at moving into an apartment or whatever, it costs $1,200 per month. You know that you need to save at least 3 to 6 months of that $1,200 rent. Okay, and you also want to practice some budgeting while you're at home. Okay, so one thing for me, all the bills I had at home was just my car note and my car insurance. Okay, those are the two primary bills, that I had. All right, so you want to make sure that you are prioritizing budgeting before you actually move in, because that's going to teach you how to be able to budget when you're moving in. Because I promise you, it's going to be a different ball game. It's going to be a different ball game when you are in your own space and you have to pay rent, or you have to, when your bills start to increase. So you want to make sure that you're practicing, budgeting before you get into your new spot. Also, another key that helped me as well is purchase essentials for your apartment in moderation before you move. But don't feel like you have to buy everything at one time. I'm telling you right now, guys, buy it in moderation. Like, buy it before you actually move in. So let's say, for instance, if I'm moving to Atlanta, I stay at I'm going to stay at this apartment complex. I have this type of apartment that I want. It costs this much. Okay, cool. I know it's going to cost this much. I'm going to save at least 3 to 6 months of that rent. I want to know, okay, cool, what all do I want to put in my house? Do I want furniture, right? Do I want a couch? Do I want a TV stand? Do I want to mount my TV? Do I want a desk if I work from home, or, if I have a computer? Your living room, like all these different things. Like, you want to start buying what it is that you want and need. You want to start buying what it is that you need first. Buy all of your essentials now before you decide to move in, so it's a lot more easier on you when you move in. You don't have to buy everything at one time, right? Like I said, buy everything in moderation before and also when you get into your new spot, right? Take it slow, because I promise you, when I moved into my space, all I had was just my bed at the time, okay? I had my bed, and I bought some bar stools off of Amazon because I have like an island, so I bought some bar stools off Amazon, and then everything else came after that, right? I got help with my furniture, things like that. So all that stuff will come into play soon, but just make sure that you are buying things in moderation before moving in, and also while you're in the apartment as well. Those are some things that kind of helped me with moving out. So I moved into my own spot by myself in 2020, y'all. In 2020. Literally May of 2020 is when I moved in. I want to say it's May the 9th is when I moved in. I'll drop a picture right there. But May 9th, 2020 is when I moved into my space for the first time on my own. I felt so good. Like, y'all, when I first got in there, I felt like Prince Akeem from I felt like Prince Akeem from Coming to America. Hello, neighbors.
Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
That's how I felt when I first moved in to my spot, right? I promise you, when you get your first space, it's gonna be an amazing feeling. So I definitely recommend, like, get your own space, like, by yourself. Like, once you start to get your space by yourself, you will just appreciate, you're gonna appreciate peace, you're gonna appreciate quietness, and you're gonna appreciate the freedom, if you know what I mean, fellas. You're gonna appreciate all of that stuff when you're actually moving into your own spot. When you're on your own, it's a whole different ball game. You have no curfew, right? Stay up as long as you want, stay out as long as you want, right? You can invite people over, but be cautious with that, right? You don't want, this is also another tip as well, you don't want everybody knowing where you live at, okay? So only the people that you know and that you trust, right? You don't want everybody knowing where you live at, okay? That's one mistake that you don't want to make, because this is your space, right? And you want to make sure that your space is catered for you. All right. So whether you have a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, whatever the case may be, make that space for you and allow the people that you want into your space. Don't let everybody know where it is that you live at, because I promise you, you're going to set yourself up for disaster if you have too many people knowing where you stay at. You're going to learn a lot about yourself and what you like and what you don't like when it comes to moving in your own space. So I don't regret anything that's happened with me in my experience. But if you do live with a roommate, or if you have to live with a roommate, you know, get somebody that you know and that you can trust, and make it a plan to move out into your own space eventually, because there's nothing wrong with having your own space. And I promise you guys, you're going to treat it with so much care, and you're going to appreciate it more than you may know now. All right, so those are my tips, right? And that's a little bit of my experience when it came to me moving out at 20 years old. So guys, I've been in Atlanta for 4 years now, and I can honestly say that living on my own is one of the best things I could have done for myself. You learn so much about yourself. You learn how to adult fast. Like, you learn how to adult. You just learn so many things that, you know, on your own that you should be doing. And also, as you get older, you know, more things start to matter. So like your health, your mental health, your physical health, all of that good stuff is going to matter a lot more. So you want to make sure that you are taking time to do things for yourself when you are living on your own for a while, right? So I've been for 4 years. I've been able to learn how to, like, you know, get back active, get in the gym, start eating right? Things like that. You want to create those good habits, because one thing that I do miss that I used to get for free all the time when I was at my parents' house is good home cooked meals. My mom used to always cook good home cooked, and most of the time healthy meals, right? That would allow me to keep a certain figure with myself, right? And I wouldn't be just, you know, eating all type of bad things, right? I would drink a lot of water, things like that. So you definitely want to incorporate some of that stuff when you're moving into your own spot. Also, learn how to cook, man. I learned how to cook, and that's been one of the best things I could have done, because learning how to cook is going to save you so much money when it comes down to it. A lot of people, you know, you don't want to rack up so much money in DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff like that. You don't want to be that person. There's nothing wrong with DoorDash and Uber Eats, but doing it too much, you're going to spend a lot more money instead of, like, you know, just cooking foods that you may like. When it comes to making it your space, you want to make sure that, you know, you cooking, you know, you feeling good when you cooking, make it a vibe, you know what I'm saying? Put on some music, you know what I'm saying, when you're cooking and things like that. Like, make it a vibe, man. Make it your space. Your space is your space, right? So those are some key things that helped me when it comes to when it came to moving out at 20 years old. A little bit of my story, guys, but hopefully this wasn't too much of a long video for the most part. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any other suggestions or tips, please go ahead and drop it down below in the comment section. If you feel like you've learned anything from this video today, go ahead and click the like button on this video, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel as well to get more content of, like, you know, just different life experiences or how-tos, or just any different videos I'm going to be incorporating within this channel. But thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys on the next video. Let's get it. He is Torien. I'm out.